That's giving funny light. Maybe there's grease. It's just got worse. But it's in the air now. I need like a tissue. Well, let me get tissue. Right. Oh, that's better. Dude, what's it? I can't see. Right, let's go again. Hang on. Wassail Beautiful People. Wassail Navisha. Wassail Sandra. Wassail Blue G Natalie. Yeah, I'm not sure. It is pinkish red. I've also got a plastic skylight bulb, and it was just raining. It's chilly up here because we're very high up. And I went to the bread shop, and I was out of breath when I came back. So, Wassail David. So I've been being okay for the first couple of days. See, now I'm getting all breathless. I did all right, days 1 and 2. Maybe it's day 4 now. But I am having trouble catching my breath. Poppy coloured. That's a beautiful one. Wassail Holly, Wassail Silky the Fairy. So, what I was going to say was Liffruma.com, as I keep saying, is live. If you subscribe, you get hidden content. The third email just went out. The second one was the Elder Thuthark. The third one is the Anglo-Saxon Thuthark. And the next one will be the first of the Liffruma runes that have been added and channeled and raked by all of you. Wassail, Margaret Hughes. Oh, look, there's something going funny. Oh, no. It was the button there vibrating. I thought there was something going wrong with the screen. I also, just outside, in that direction, there's a really big hill because I'm in an area that's part of the oldest habitational area. But there's a hill, which it turns out is an active volcano. Hasn't done a big eruption since 1660, but it did say that this is the closest capital city to an active volcano. So, I might have to pull you a little bit this way. I'm losing table space, but that doesn't matter. Wassail Father King. So, yes, go onto the website, sign up. Also, if you're following the story, The Goblin and the Crow, if you go down to the bottom of the homepage and press now, you'll get taken to the new sagas page and you will be given the option to see both chapters 1 and chapter 2. Because the second chapter of the story is on there. For each chapter of the story, a card is selected to set the theme for that chapter, and then the story has to unfold, in theory, around that theme. Also, when you get the hidden content password in your email for being part of the secret squad, oh, thanks, Blue Jean. Today's one's only taken 6 hours to write and edit. And that's just my half. There's another half where Kathy's doing additional stuff at the moment in terms of blog posts for each of the runes. And talking of those runes, when you go in, you can now, when you get the list of all 33, if you touch on them, they will open and they will reveal 13 word bursts. Now, the idea is we're going to build a resource there between us and you. So you can go on and you can leave a comment on what you think the different runes also might mean to you as readers, because that's part of the importance of this deck is, what does the deck say to you? So, Holly's in the house, she's moderating, and I'm getting ready to run if the volcano goes off. I am going to go up there because there's an archaeological park, and they only found it in the 1990s, and it dates back, parts of it, I think, to a couple of thousand years before the Common Era. And they've rebuilt, because it's an outdoor archaeological park, they've rebuilt parts of buildings so that you can get a feel for what it looked like. I'll go there first. I'll take my iPad and the Liffruma deck, and if I can sit down somewhere, the only problem is I've chosen the rainiest time to visit this city. So it just rains every day, and jumpers and hats are the order of the day. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we're live and we've got Liffruma. And I might just open with a little napkin of 4 cards and give a reading. Wassail Kathy. There's a card fallen, Kathy, as I've sung your name. Maybe it's 2. No, it's 1. So we're beginning with Guten, which is a stung rune. What are stung runes? Stung runes are runes that have dots in them. So I have to keep an eye on what you're saying, because I'm promising myself, Wassail, sovereign soul. Haven't seen you for a while. Wassail, Professor Greenleaf. So I went over the equator, Greenleaf, 4 or 5 times on a bendy road that weaved its way through the Andes mountains as we got ever higher. But I am going to go to middle of the world city. It's not really a city, it's just the outskirts of Quito. So we've got Guten as the first of our napkin with the stung rune. Ooh, an East. Gut yourself. Gut your consciousness. Deal with things. 2 more, and then we'll look at them. The vibes were interesting in that it was a kind of absence. So it will be interesting to see what the vibes are there. I felt more vibed by being in Manta because it was the closest I'd got. And then when we passed over it, it was on a road and we stopped and it wasn't quite conducive. But middle of the world city has got a big monument. But my understanding is it's not quite on the 0-degree equator. There was a miscalculation. But we'll GPS it when we get there. I'm just excited to be on the equator. It was lovely in Montenegro by the beach, but this is the equator. This is a magical line around the world. Just waiting for the last card. The third card is Eric Burston. So you've actually got 2 power numbers. So I've decided I'm not going to call master numbers any longer. I'm going to call them power numbers. Because I don't like the gendering. So we've got 11 and 55. Oh, there we go. Oh, and 33. Whoa. So look, got the master numbers. Got the name of the master numbers. So look, I'm just going to hold up these 3 power numbers. 11, 55, and 33. I mean, that's strong magic. It's interesting. This is Elder Thuthark. This is Anglo-Saxon Thuthark. Or Northumbrian. But we don't talk about that. And then 55 is a Liffruma power number, because it's the one we as a collective chose to make that card. So I'm now going to show you the Guten is 57, but my finger's about to cover that up. So here's the napkin. So I'm interested in the fact that the napkin switches sort of colour shades as we move from this column to this column. Whereas the rows are kind of made up of a similar sort of energy, colour-wise, energetically. So we're looking at communication, we're looking at consciousness, we're looking at going within inside ourselves. Guten is an energy of needing to remove, to have the strength and the courage to go deep within something. And there is always this hint of the drawing of blood, but actually it isn't that. It's really about removing the energy of your blood ancestry, the songs that your ancestors have left woven into your DNA. And then we have this wonderful newly born first step. This is consciousness. This is the very first marker you can make in the runic language. And I always think this should be the first rune, because it's the single stroke from behind the veil to the physical world, bringing your consciousness down and putting it inside all of your cells. But with Guten, it's asking you to look at how you bring more of your energy truthfully into your cells and resonate with your own truth. It really is about your truth resonating within your cells. Oh yeah, you won't get 55 until email 5. Oh, that's cool, actually. So the email that's coming out this weekend, slow down, not enough oxygen in the air. Eric Burston is about bursting free. I'm going to read you the whole of the poem for this one. So this is tension creaks and arches as the ancient yew-bow suppresses rayless tortures endured for aeons. The arrow shelf only holds so long. Even when the serving point is pulled tight and knuckled back, fastened hearts demand their liberation. The taut bowstring knows this faux obsessive pairing will eventually break free from its narcissist fist. At some point, it will burst out and flee the archer's control. Fletchers gift arrows feathers to sail safely away, flying alone to target a new home. Now there's many, many layers within this. It's a yew-bow, it's archery, it's finding a target. It's also really important to talk about that moment when you pull back a bow and there's all this tension that's created and you're still trying to find the point at which you need to aim and release. But it's also asking you to consider the narcissism within situations. And is the narcissist another, the archer, or are you your own narcissist? Wassail Parry. Also, Fletcher is the old word for like a blacksmith, but the name of a person who created arrows. And that was a really important job. And people with the name Fletcher will have that within their ancestry. I don't mind being Russian, Esther. Wassail Esther. So then we have Gar or Gare. Because with a long A, it's more like an A. Gare. That sounds a bit gay. So I do Gar, Gare. Gar. This is the spear and this is truth. Sometimes this symbol can be drawn with the entire single Gununga gap, making 4 spaces. But we decided it was much more important to keep the 2 because this creates this energy of 2 Gununga gaps being available. So it's an energy of transformation, of hopping from one idea to another, one dimension from another. And it's all to do with spearing food is not the use of a spear now. We've taken something and we've turned it into a weapon of war. I mean, we still see javelins and their spears and they're used competitively, but that's still not the energy of Liffruma because that's about trying to be better than everyone else. And clearly the energy in Liffruma is much more about coming together within the communities. So it's spearing food to feed families or champion communities. And it's 2 voids held open and separate. 2 voids held open and separate, yet a sole purpose uniting them. So Odin's spear was used to make unbreakable promises, to troth something. And so when you get this card, it's talking about what can you troth to yourself or to your community, your family, your friends, that will make both your and their lives transformed. So we're looking at changing an old, I am hearing moany song. Changing that old moany song, gutting out the old tunes. Spill out and conquer yourself, to change your DNA and to break free, to create space for new promises. I might have to take my hat off now, I'm getting a bit warm. It's because I'm channeling. I was sitting here freezing beforehand. I've also got Chicha Morada all down my t-shirt, so the jumper's quite handy for covering that up. I'm not sure I understand all of your message, Michael. Rolling Popeye. Sorry, I don't know what you mean. It's a little bit vague. So this first napkin, look at what you can retune in your own philosophy to help you recode your DNA and break free and hop to some kind of new promise to you and society around you. It's not necessarily a better version of the War Rune, or it's a different energy. This is a promise that you make either to yourself, but more importantly to a community. But before you can make, and I am wary of the word promise, that's why I use troth. Because you should never promise what you can't deliver. And this is about trothing something that you know you could deliver. So it's about being more honest in what you offer of yourself to others. Whereas the War Rune, the Nide one, is more about dealing with yourself. Yeah, and a promise to make peace is one that people break all the time. So, ooh, look. That's an interesting energy in the split. Leche and Liffruma. So I'm gonna rifle them. And we're just gonna shuffle and see what else comes out. I have a little read of you so that I don't have to talk so much. Right. Can I encourage all of you who are part of the Subscribing Secret Squad to go into the list of runes, tap on the image of the rune, and it will open and bring you the 13 word bursts. I'd love you all to start adding word bursts that you feel expresses the rune for you, so that we can build and grow a resource collectively rather than us dictating exactly what something means. Also, look. It's the Shaman's Rattle that is in the Colette Baron Reed Mystical Shaman card, about making a space, an opening in time. There's lots of other musical instruments in this house that I'm staying in. There's a little there's maraca singular. There's also various panpipes, which I can't blow because I was never a flautist, I was an oboist. And there's a beautiful, what looks like a tenor or an alto recorder. Doesn't wanna. I haven't got the breath yet for that. So let's rifle again. Also, look, I made chicha morada from the market yesterday. I did a reading about the vagus nerve about 2 years ago in La Havre. I think there's a sound healing melody attached with it. Chimarada so wants to stain everything. So let's just shuffle and see what we're getting. What we're getting. Oh, it's a bit too pineapple-y. I may have put a bit too thick a pineapple skin in. Yeah, it was an amazing market. The only thing was, there was a woman that sold maize morada, and she was greedy. And for 4 or 5, I think it was 5 sticks of the corn, she wanted $7. And I said to her, that doesn't seem right. And she said, no, it's $7. And it was just a very uncomfortable energy. So, Liffruma, what else would you like to say to the lovely people here? Three in a go, go. So it opens with Perth. So Perth is pear tree, cosmic surge. And then it has the Egelschmier. And this is a magical Icelandic rune stave. And then we have Os. Now, anyone who's had the second email will know that this Anzus rune became Os in the Anglo-Saxon. And so it changed from the letter A to O for Odin. And it's interesting because Othala becomes Ethel, which no longer has the start of Odin's name in it. So quite often this card is spoken of as being an Odin-based card, but actually it's really about God or mouth, as in a holy, sacred vessel of all of our cells that belongs to the earth because it's made from the earth's materials, and in it resides our consciousness. So I would say that the message from these three cards, Egel Shamir, can be about a protection energy that actually creates a stopping point. And there's something in this that the cosmic surge, the energy of some kind of new download, upload, but a new music of the spheres melody is not able to get into your cells because you're in an Egel Shamir frequency. Now, the Egel Shamir frequency is coming across in two ways. It's coming across directly as the Egel Shamir rune that you can call upon to use as protection. But when you're using it as protection, nothing gets in. Good things don't get in, bad things don't get in. So you're actually stopping yourself in that situation from receiving this mystical, magical, cosmic download into your cells, into your DNA. Sorry, I just had to catch my breath. I can't talk that long. I think probably I do all right because I'm on my own and I don't talk to anybody. And now that I'm trying to talk to all of you, it's making me a bit breathless. So the other frequency I'm getting from this is this card has become, or this symbol has become kind of an ancestral circle. So it's like a series, and I want to say that there's 8 of them, but that might not be the case. But it's like having a series of ancestors who are encircling you to hold you in some kind of comfort. I think I might have to put my glasses on because I can't read with them on. I need new glasses, as well as new teeth. So there's an ancestral group standing around some of you, willing you to release an ancestral blockage, and they're trying to reach out to help you so that you can make space within your cells to call in this Perth, this energy. This energy is so present and so ripe, it's almost bruising and rotting as it tries to get through your Egel Shamir. But you need to work out, you'll know if you're someone that's calling on some kind of protection, and it doesn't have to be that you're calling on this symbol. You could be calling on the protection of an archangel. You could be calling on the protection of an ancestor. But you need to actually stop doing that for a bit and allow the natural flow of energy to get through. This needs to get through to you, but it can't do that if you keep protecting yourself. I'm going to ask the cards for some information now about if this is an ancestral circle around you. Also, this is card 36. 3 and 6 is a Tesla code, just as 6 and 3 is, and that's Opheligu. And that's the energy of electrons buzzing multiple thousands of times in and out of this dimension in your cells, all your cells, every second. So you're these electrons are both here and elsewhere, but we're not sure where else or how many other places they're flashing in and out of, but they are like these wispy threads seen throughout this card. So, ancestral protection. What can you add about this ancestral protection? What can you add? What can you add? So I'm being shown funerary jars, funerary ceramics. Funerary ceramics are particular to this area. Well, they might be in other areas, but I've seen them in this area. When I went to Agua Blancas. And they were jars, actually they were in Peru too, when I went to those towers. So they are obviously an Andean thing, because I am in the Andes. Again, but I'm the furthest north I've ever been in the Andes. So they're large ceramic jars, and they would put people in them in a fetus position with other gifts, sometimes for the afterlife around them, and they were often here buried in their own homes, and then offspring created their own homes. Oh, this is interesting. I was going to say we've got 144 when you take out the protection. When you take out the fear, when you move past that need to be protected from your own worries, you're left with 144. And then next card out is Condor 44, another master number, power number. Must remember that. But this is now giving us 14444. So if you add that up, 4444 is 16, 17, 8. It's an energy of change. And this is a transformation card. Wassail Eve. Yeah, 14444. So this is doubt. This is the card that introduced in the runic histories, Ken, the divine spark, transformed in the Anglo-Saxon and in other forms to be a different symbol. And it often gets associated with an ulcer, and it's an energy that most people don't like to look at. And yet it's a really essential energy, because an ulcer represents when we doubt. When we doubt something, when we become fearful, this is when we start to utilize protection. And that protection becomes something very static that won't allow the flow of other energies through. 44, Condor, is the macro, the cosmic tune. It's this, 144. It's that ripened pear, but it's also got this energy of the phoenix, the energy of transformation, the energy of confidence to allow you to unlock the cosmic macro door. Candle is the micro door in your sacral. This is the big door on the outside that's just waiting for you to unlock and soar like a phoenix. Yes, I love Condor. This was one of Rob's first cards when the artwork was created that made him absolutely fall in love with the progress of the deck. That's interesting. There's lots of little red, tiny petals. I can also hear hummingbirds here. I need to take my glasses off. I really can't see. So yes, 14444444 when you take away the protection. So I'm going to ask specifically, what's bringing this protection? Because this is not Egel Shamir as just a kind of protective helm of all shield. This is ancestral gathering, a circle of ancestors around you. Look, Ken, there's the very card that I was speaking about, the divine spark. You're not sparking. So what's happening? There's cobwebs all over your sparks room, all over the space in which you should be firing up. There's something webbed up. And oh, look, this is 366 or 636. So here, I think the deck is trying to demonstrate the importance of numerology, and that's fascinating because, oh God, I'm so hot. I'm going to take this off now. And I've got Chicha Morada all down it. The next email, if you subscribe to Liffruma.com, that will come out this weekend, is all about numerology and the power of the numbers hidden within the cards. So the fact that we're getting beautiful mirroring, magical use of numbers is trying to show you how numbers are as important. Ones are the beginning, the space, the beingness, the consciousness, the ease, energy, that energy of being conscious and alive. 4 is about finding somewhere static in which to heal. So here it's the beingness of healing and where that leads us. Now, 3 and 6, as I said, are electrons, but 3 is always the electron that deals with the inner landscape, the conscious landscape, the emotional landscape. 6 is the outer physical world and how we project our living energy into the world around us. So the fact that we've got 366 and this 6 is this unlit spark, this dusty area, is showing how somehow we're failing to shine the light that we want into the world around us. And this is what your ancestors are gathering. So it's almost like ancestors are saying, this is an energy we did. We didn't shine our light truthfully, and we really need you to shine the light. You live in a time where this is possible. Yeah, I love watching Pam, but Pam has so many subscribers. I don't think she has time to notice us. So let's see, ancestors. What is this? What is this unsparked story that they're intoning around you to help you break free from? Gone very quiet. Whoa, that one just bounced and then got hit by my hand and a shot down there. It's personal Yggdrasil tree. It's Esk. Ash. And actually, it's like learning with Liffruma. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin. Wassail Beautiful Truth. So, I said earlier that Anzus became Os in the Anglo-Saxon Theothoc. And then this allowed, you see how this is up and across? This is up and across without the extra tail. And so this was the letter A, and this became the letter O. But this is AE, and then there's another one, Oak, which is got the top but not the bottom. So there's 3 runic versions of this, which the Secret Squad will know everything about. Because it was in the last email. So what are we dealing with? What is it that you're not sparking? You're not sparking the cells of your own personal Yggdrasil tree. You're not capable currently of bringing your consciousness fully and truthfully into your entire physical being. And it's not about pushing your energy and allowing your energy to shine from within you past the outer limits of your body. It's not into your auric field. In fact, there was an energy I got the other day where your aura is sometimes filled with a spillage that can't make it as your full truth in your cells, so it spills out into the aura. So this is your personal Yggdrasil tree. This is 2-6. So we've got 3, 6, 6, 2, 6. This is a realm. 3s are a realm. 6s are a sense of balance. So there's a realm, an inner realm of balance that needs to be sparked up. 2 is a journey, and then the 6 again is taking you to a balance. You need to journey to personal balance. We all have a personal Yggdrasil carved with scars, pitted, knotted and gnarled. And it's the energy of Loki. Loki will help you to tumble out. So I'm going to ask, what is Loki's message through the ancestors? What is Loki's message through the ancestors in this Egil Shamir wheel shield of the ancestral circle? What is Loki's message? It's fascinating. So we've got night and we've got yell. Night is the darkness. So this rune looks exactly the same as sigil, except it's blocked. So therefore, if it's not life force, it's stopped life force. It's life forceless. And this is the energy when we are cruel to ourselves and others. This is the darkness. I'm going to read you this poem. This is in this will be in this week's secret hidden release. So if you sign up to Liffruma.com, you will be able to see this card properly and the additional 13 word bursts, and you can begin to add your own feelings in the comments. And we really want that because we want this to grow as a resource. This is also an 11, 3 and 8. And 11 is a world code. It's an earth code. So there's something that changes in your cellular code that's being willed by your ancestors. But this is about turning dark, how you turn dark and how you troll yourself, your inner troll. So, darkness, like a mood, falls, suffocating as it engulfs all emotions, rupturing their splendor, shading all with the heavy hues of fertility. A sudden compression that should be a lesson in depression, but it isn't. It loathes and demeans our dreams, not just yours, but those of others. Our inner trolls pose challenges, blocking our bridges out of the doldrums. Evoke the resolve from the land of the midnight sun. Light will return and dissolve the darkness. So I see a big rocky purple troll in here. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But it's there for me. Exactly. When we all meet as one, and that's what Elven light is. That's what the Liffruma energy is to all be of one mind. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so that's the 6. So you've got the night and you've got Yo. This is the sacral. This is the space. Oh, look. That. Yesterday, I look for signs all the time. And there is one sign which I can't share with you because it would reveal exactly my address and we're not supposed to do that. But I also, yesterday when walking, had another little moment where I walked into that. It's a mirror of that rune. It was just in blue on the floor. And so I just took a little picture. So this is the sacral. This is the yew tree. This is about, now that's interesting. This is about personal, There's an element of a yew tree and its berries, because it's a very poisonous plant, and it can cause hallucinations. On very warm days, but also the pollen can be a little hallucinogenic if you're nearby a yew tree. I can't say it's ever happened to me, but then I'm not someone who's ever had a hallucination ever. So I think because the whole world's like a hallucination to me. But there's something about creating your own, now, not hallucinations, but like your own. They're showing me very visual, bright colours, the energy of something that, you, that's Y-O-U and Y-E-W. You need to grow something new within the soul of your darkness. And what is the darkness? It's the place where we put seeds. So when a yew tree rots, now remember, a yew tree can be 9,000 years old. They're very, very ancient plants. There are some in Scotland that are believed to be referenced. There's a reference to, do I want to say Herod or Pontius Pilate? Pontius Pilate was believed to have played underneath those yew trees as a child, and they're still there. So you almost need to think about the speed of which time moves relative to different objects. But when a yew tree is very old, sometimes its insides have just rotted away. And that's what you're trying to do with your inner troll, is just rot away that need to troll yourself, that need to be horrible and mean to yourself. And the yew tree will then grow a new shoot inside the old trunk that will fill out and sustain and hold the outer shell of the yew tree again. So somehow that's what you need to do. You need to find a new colouring, in your cells, deep in your cells. But this is coming to you from Loki about a change of your own psychological philosophy that's different to your ancestors. Your ancestors don't want you singing this song. They want this song gone. They want you to sing your own tune, and that's what they're encouraging. So, is there any last card on that little message? And then we'll go into something else. Cheers, people. Wassail. Let's try not to get it all down me. So, Loki, final word. So, we had night, and then we had yo, and now we got treadle. We've got the mirror. So, it's not the mirror rune image of this, but it's the mirrored number 1331. This is the magic of numerology. It's the numbering of these cards has been very deliberate to assist in the messaging. So 1331. This is a beautiful card. I absolutely love this card. Tread, soul prints, spelt S-O-L-E, footsteps. And you can see the 2 feet sort of treading and walking inside the Liffrumic cosmic ocean of the lagoon. So, barefoot, rarefoot, stepping and treading with soul intention. A journey starts with a conscious step. A racing pace in haste to reach a destination punctures the soul's purpose. The tracks of our footprints map our past path. Our feet talk of where we have walked. Step deliberately with well-intentioned thoughts of love. I really love this card. It's such a card full of joy, of hopefulness, of walking a new journey, of stepping forwards and making something. Yes, and it makes 4, which is a healing. So it'll be coming later as an email or a blog, but I did a whole series of all of the different mirrored numerologies of cards in their pairs that takes place throughout this deck, and they're wonderful. Now I'm burping Chichamarada. So, beautiful people, let's see what we get next. What do we get next? Let's have a little new space. The shaman's given us a new space. I wanted to see that card because that's about singing the new songs. Recognise the tune that's your tune. So let's rifle on the split. Egelshamir's here again. Wassail, Francesca. I'm assuming, but I remembered your name as Francesca. Wild Wolf Woman. But I may just have made that up. I'm pretty sure Gustav called you it. And we haven't seen Gustav for ages. What's happened to him? We get the runes and we lose the Swede. So, one new message. Liffruma, would you like to share with us all? Just in case you thought I was using a sort of shuffle sound effect below the camera. So don't forget to sign up to Liffruma.com. See, as soon as I talk about Liffruma.com, all the cards are pouring out. But I'm not taking them because they're the last message. Returning. I want a new message. Oh, I'm going to start with a continuation. The last card that was on the floor, Sunsteader. So, okay, so we can have Francesca as your alter ego because I... Is your name Anna? You don't have to tell us. I'm just going to go back to calling you Wild Wolf Woman because I like that. And it's very much Wentworny. So Sunsteader, the solstice, something rarefied. So this is about a moment in time. This is talking to me today. It's not necessarily the... No. She's Wild Wolf Woman. We're not doing real names. It's just Wild Wolf Woman. Francesca's an alter ego. So, what this is talking about lines, geography, equator. It's talking about the 0 degrees, and it's talking about this rare moment when Pluto's going to hit Aquarius. So, Pluto's going to hit Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius. I'm hoping that day that I can make a trip, as long as it's not raining. I'm in the rainiest season. Oh, you are? Wow. Okay, Wild Wolf Woman. So I'm hoping to go that day, depending on the weather, to the 0 degree middle of the world city thing, so that we can be on 0 degree equator with 0 degree Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto. 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 Oh, it's come out with Canafa. Angar. So, Canafa. Canafa, traditions, things that need breaking. Oh, I'm seeing a really big, it's not there. You can see it there. A giant letter E. E for equator. So this is blood-scented. This is the knave, Canafa. In Mozart's magic flute, not fruit. There are magic fruits, but in Die Zauberflöte, the drei Knafe, the 3 little boys, help to rescue Papageno from suicide. Why that's got something to do with this, I'm not sure, but this is really about the transformation, having the key to mend the past. How do you mend the past? And I would say this card, 33, that's come out again, is talking about how you hop without the past to a new dimension. But how do you mend the past? You let it go. You can't keep reviewing traditions. You can't keep holding things faithful because they are the very anchors that stop you moving forwards. They're the things that allow yet another rarefied energy to pass by while you were caught in this rigid, stiff frequency. This is about traditions that we hold dear that are actually in truth totally without value in a modern world. Rituals that drive and pump in our veins, and they need to be sung once more to end them. So that's really about identifying. Cry and scream, rip ruptured traditions asunder. Pluto, and that's Pluto in Capricorn, where Pluto has been for the last 20 years. So this 0 degree is the key to bringing us from the old Pluto energy, Gununga gap, to the new Pluto Gununga gap. Bringing a new frequency forward with that power number, 33. Oh, Ania. So we have this rarefied card that goes between sigil and night, but it's representing the movement of Pluto. And then the third card we have, 73. Now, Natalie Blue Jeans, Blue Jean Natalie, are you here still? This is the stung rune version of Nide. So this transforms shadows into not just the war rune with the nutrients inside it, but this is the alchemy to explore. So this is kind of a frequency of being alive and eager to grow and transform. And that's, let's explore. Let's all explore this new energy. Oh, let's explore this new energy of Pluto in Aquarius. 3773. Just so that Liffruma can just show off yet again with this numerology. Today is obviously numerology day and mirrors. So exploring. This is very much exploring the cosmic lagoon of Rune and her naughty mystical daughters. What, nautical, not naughty. They are naughty in the Goblin and the Crow story, but we haven't got that chapter yet. So, exploring a whole new Pluto, a rarefied Pluto. So, what else? What else? What else? Pluto. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, this is Nide. I moved to the angle. I made it bend slightly off center. But this is a Nide, this is Nide with a sting, with a rune that changes its frequency. And they're medieval, usually, the stung runes. So what do we have? Big energies. So Pluto, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. And what's interesting is that the poem here talks about poplar trees, björk. In Anglo-Saxon, it's the poplar tree. In other places, it's the birch tree, which is the first tree to grow after a fire has destroyed a forest or a woodland. And it's a similar frequency here, but what's interesting about the poplar tree is the poplar sends roots underground, and from those roots are little tiny knots that can actually open and grow into new trees when the old tree has been burnt or damaged or cut down. And so it's about new home, new world, begin again with certain vigor, knowing your future's assured. So Pluto's offering us a new home, a new, well, he's moving home. Pluto is moving from Capricorn to Aquarius. So that's that energy of underground movement and sending up new roots. And it comes with kelk. Now, this is chalk or mortar, and it begins with the chalky seams of ancient marine creatures, which is fitting very much in with this, the sort of cosmic marine creatures that take place in that card of exploration. But this is the card that talks about both anchoring and unanchoring. So look, we have, look at the shape of these two runes. They're very, very similar. This one lacks the east stroke that this one has. So this is about unanchoring, letting go of the past, as we said, finding that there's a new key, a new door, a new space from which to grow from as Pluto moves. And that will change your consciousness. It will allow you to anchor yourself in a new space. And again, it's that frequency of going from one dimensional gap to another and having the faith to cross this gifting energy, this gifu. And again, here, and this energy has got a remembrance or a recollection of the Wendhorn, the unbinding. So you need to unbind to rebind, to bind yourself to something new, a newer future. And it ends with card 50, which is Rippian. Rippian is to ripen or mature. So there's something grown up. Oh, two shadowy figures. There's two shadowy figures. There's this one here, and then there's this one here. So it's about growing up. Sublime things improve with time. Some reach their fullest bloom immature, with so much room still to fine-tune their burgeoning maturation. Empathy overwhelms and bursts shadows, unearthing a wounded, star-crossed child. Then wisdom leaves, ripped by a sudden breeze and blown off course. To ripen is to become emotionally stable, growing by knowing that all are entitled to passions without judgment. We must all grow generously wise. That's a gorgeous message from Pluto. Yes, March 23rd. It does retrograde, but the trouble is once you put your foot in somewhere, you know what it looks like. And although it will retrograde, it will come back, and then it pops back out and pops back in again. But it will eventually be in Aquarius for 20 years. So it's a whole new world. Kind of wished I hadn't found that song. So Pluto's offering us a whole new maturity, which I'm happy to take. So we're going to shake a space and we're just going to go and see what third message we might have with the lovely Yor on the bottom. Destiny, the world serpent. That one is in the Anglo-Saxon Toothhawk additional bolt-ons. Chicha. Oh no. Luckily there's more in the fridge. Because you always make lots of it, and I thought it would do me good with the lack of oxygen. I'm hoping this time I won't get crusty nostrils as well. So let's have a... There we go. I'm never complacent, and I will always say to anybody who's travelling, if you're going to a very high altitude, and I think it's something like 9,000 feet, you need to get to somewhere and respect the place. But yeah, you don't get any cocoa leaves here. You only get them in Peru, Anthony. They banned them here. And I don't know whether they have any alternative drinks to help you breathe, but I did go through long periods in Peru where I didn't take the cocoa leaves, just to try and keep it. reel to see if I could do it. So yeah, you have to respect the altitude and you need to rest and give yourself time. So I haven't really been out. I went for a little walk, which was a longer walk, but I wasn't talking on the walk. It's the talking that seems to use up all my bloody oxygen. So, I'm just here until I pass out, Kathy. So, Liffruma. We have Urox, the shiny, glossy, black, giant oxen that were hunted to extinction in the UK. I assume they were hunted to extinction elsewhere. So, what's the next message, please? Beginning with Leche. Divine pain, emotional bleeding. I'll have a go at that. I was taught another thing by a guy the other day who is an Ecuadorian, which was breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and breathing out for 8. Is that right? 7 and 8. Yeah, because it was 19. It totaled 19, and I thought it was an interesting prime number for breath. So, Leche. So this is the leech, the emotional bleed. And it's a divine 9. And it was chosen to be a divine 9. This is also a time rune. What's a time rune? That's in the email. I'm actually not going to tell you. If you want to know, you're going to have to subscribe and sign up to liffruma.com and you'll get an email back. And then at the weekend, you will get a new email that will explain the 3 time runes and why they exist. So, the poem of Leche, the grim harvest-seeking balance, profound heart wound, bleeding, grief, pouring, emotions, soaring, tears raining down ceaselessly, pain after pain after pain, and you can't explain it away. Feel it, bleed it, pour it all out until you and it are almost broken from exhaustion. Now, see how clearing pain makes space for new treasures deeper in your heart? It is a massive card of divine emotional cleansing. You gotta feel it to remove it. If you can't look at it, if you can't see the joy and splendor that pain offers as growth, you're not ready to grow. You're not gonna grow. You have to be able to recognize this painful card. And it is one that when it turns up in a reading, you do subconsciously just go, because you don't want to see it. You don't want this pain after pain after pain. But it's so essential to growth. It's so essential to moving you forwards. Also, leeches are becoming ever more popular, apparently. Again, in the medical world, I read recently. So, So from Leche, 72 to 23, Ethel. Pain will open your birthright. Pain will help you to discover your truth. Pain will highlight your growth. It couldn't be more clearer. Yeah, well, look, Holly, I'll be honest. When we first started on the deck and I first started researching, it was because I couldn't get a decent tarot deck that I liked. And I wanted something to help me with interest in divination. And it was only as we all worked through the deck and we looked at the tears that came from facing the messages that the deck made it clear that it wanted to be a healing oracle because it was offering healing. Sometimes just within each separate card, there is the option to find a healing. And so when they come out together, they create really beautiful healing messages. I mean, that's a gorgeous pair to have together. You can almost hear on the edge of this emotional gift, because that's the Lagoon. That is the cosmic ocean card. And so this little tap that's bleeding, this little burst of possible joyous light may be the very dawning of this energy hidden within your pain. So I'm going to read you this one then. After we've just had the end of this one, which was, now see how clearing pain makes space for new treasures deeper in your heart. This one's poem. What defines you? Your family, their possessions, or all they leave you through inheritance? Is that estate fated to define you from birth, written into your body codes? Or will you seek your original birthright, move past all that falsely defines you, and find the full truth of thyself? What frequency is the true you? Claim that. I love this card. I really do. There's something so lost in a forest, but so full of hope, knowing that there's a pathway back. So I'll shuffle a few more. So Liffruma. Let's do master numbers again. Power numbers. Gotta stop calling them master numbers. So we've got 44 and 33. Repeat frequencies. So maybe I'm just pushing for more cards, and it's like, look, people are not going to pay attention to a third reading. Just let them go back to the original one and know that if you have the courage to lift yourself free of the ulcer, lift yourself free of the pain, you can have your phoenix moment and you can shift from the old dimension to the new dimension where your birthright is. Yes, I love Adele. So this little can be said as a D or as a TH, Adele. And actually sometimes with the long, some people might say evil, but it sounds like evil, and that doesn't feel like a birthright. Wow. Oh, got one that's gone over there on the floor. I hope it's another power number. Give me a moment. Oh, it's the end of the Elder Thuth arc. Dej. Purged. The day. I'm going to read this poem because you can go to Liffruma.com. Go to Liffruma.com. You can subscribe. You will get a return email and it will give you an access portal, a magical portal, and then a code word, which is one of the cards. And you can look at each individual card and their poem, and you can leave comments, which we'd love you to do, because we want to build up a resource of what you think the cards mean to you. So, you can also read the second chapter of The Goblin and the Crow, because that's now on there. There's 10 chapters already written, but they're a bit rough, so they need sorting out. So we've now got Hagal. This is also a beautiful card, which is very much got this energy. But it's saying that purging is something we have to weather. Purging is something we have to go through. Purging is something that we need to appreciate. So, Hagal, it's a bit like a tower card in many ways, but not. So, a cosmic crisis has been created. All the time, Orthumbler licks the salty rime to form the milk of existence that sustains Emir. But Emir's not here anymore. His skull is now the heavens, and his icy tears rain down on Midgard. Cascading and crashing, darting and dashing into our faces, forcing painful, stabbing wounds that must be felt before they melt and flow away. Uncomfortable truths. So, who is Orthumbler and who is Emir? Well, you can find out on Liffruma.com under a section that's called Mentioned Mythologies. So, let me just show you. So there is a section, Mentioned Mythology, and here is Orthumbler, the holy cow in the Gunungaga, and she licks the salt rime, and she produces milk which she feeds to Emir, and Emir was the hermaphrodite giant first being. And it's interesting that here, one of the cultures, one of the pre-Inca, pre-Columbian, very old cultures, part of their mythology was about, they said homosexual giants, but I think they meant hermaphrodite giants. So that's obviously something that turns up in many other cultures. So numerologically, 9, Hagal, the hail, the weathering, the needing to pass through things. This is a divine energy. It's an energy we have to deal with because it's the salt rime. And then this salt rime within it, where fire meets ice and the heat of Orthumbler's tongue produces the new beings, the giants, the giantesses, and then eventually the gods and the humans are all inside the salt rime. So this is a very divine, creative frequency, but it's also about, it's echoing this energy where things that hurt us actually can just be melted away. You can decide whether you're going to keep picking up the hailstones and throwing them at your face, or you can decide to look at them and watch them melt and let them pour back into the divine lagoon. Because remember, a Leche is one stoppage away from a return to the lagoon, runically. So, let's just shuffle these and get a last little bit before I dash away. We've got 3, 2 on the floor and 1 on the table. The first on the floor, Anwardness. This is Verdandi, which is Kathy's alias on Liffruma.com. And you can visit her garden. The other one on the floor is Anwila or Ainwila, And this is a bit like a Wheel of Fortune, but it's also a punctuation mark. It's a moment of stoppage. And then, well, look, we're going back at the very end to where we started with Guten. It's a return message. If you want to live in the now, and this really is the place to live, it's not about living in the pain of the past. It's not about weathering. It's about purging, moving, hopping between the dimensions to reach your birthright. What's your birthright? To live in the now. If you can live in the now, there's such wonder in living in the moment. Such amazing joy. And then you need to kick your wheel forwards. You can't sit and hold this energy still. You've got to make a move to action your own birthright. You create your healing space. You create your happiness. So, one last card for the end, please. Just one, please, Liffruma. One last card. One last card. Should really be just a Liffruma card, just to really show off. Ah, it's done 2. 27 and 29. So, Hod and Urgrap. So this one, poetry-wise, you want to get yourself down to mention mythologies, look up card 29, and it will tell you exactly who Urbodha, Gulveg, and Utenseer, I believe, are all in there. This is return from the drylands, return from the desiccation. This is very much when you drain the pool, you are left with a dry earth, and there's mystical opportunity, sweetened possibilities that lie inside the grip of every single molecule within you when it's renewed. And it's this hooded unseeing, this blind, this is the darkness that sees inside its own light somehow, they're saying. So all of the splendid jewels are there, you're just not looking at them. You're not looking at the treasures within your own soul. It's just, I knew they were going, there's a mirror, will you not see the mirror? So the message began and it ends with the mirror. There's so much potential, glittering jewel. Has anyone seen the picture that the new telescope showed of the giant, and they've made them look like a crystal webbing of giant, the most enormous galaxies ever. It's the most amazing picture, but it did remind me of this, the endless bejeweled possibilities within each of us if we're just willing to focus and action and pour something new into our desiccated landscapes. So, I don't know what you were all saying then. Forgot to breathe then, leaning in. So there's lots of exciting things for us to do together in Quito, weather permitting. A lot of the things are quite outdoorsy. I do want to go to, someone's recreated an Inca Temple of the Sun, so that you can actually go inside and see what it looks like, because most Inca Temples of the Sun were pulled down and churches were built on top of them. So it'd be nice to see one, just to hear the kind of acoustics maybe of the sound. If I get the chance, we'll try and do a singing in there. So beautiful people, Liffruma.com. Go along, subscribe, sign up, get lots of hidden information, and please start emailing. Not emailing, commenting on the blog so that we can grow this resource together. Because it really is, it's called our collective oracle because I want it to be a collection of all of us eventually. And so that's the notion behind it. For all of us to collectively to get together and create more decks with more understanding and more healings. So, just gonna split the deck and see what comes. Hell. Hell is the returning light. She is the person who returns both Hod and Baldur to the world after Ragnarok. This is a very powerful frequency. This is the energy of being healed. Not healing, but being in a state of healed. You are healed. When your light returns, you are healed. And that's a really important energy. So, beautiful people, I will see you again. I don't know whether it'll be tomorrow or the next day. It all depends on weather, Hagal, weathering. I can get out and take us places, see some spaces, or whether I have to stay in and cook more food. So, beautiful people, Liffruma wants to say, ooh. So, that's a beautiful card. I love that card. I'm not going to read it for you. I'm just showing you it because it's a very, very beautiful card. And it doesn't have a mirror because there's no card 86. But there are 78 rune cards here. This is a big old deck. So, I will be seeing you all very, very soon. Wassail Temple. You're getting a wassail goodbye. Because I'm off now, Wild Temple. So, beautiful people, have a lovely rest of your day, or night, or morning, or afternoon. Wassail.